it's like managing anything. The more you have to manage, it's like messes with your brain. That's why I only like being in like one setup at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I find the best setup that I can possibly find. I'm in that trade. I know how to manage it, and it's over with. Like, I don't have any stress when I trade.
Yeah.
And I love that. What is up, everybody? We are on the Trader Society podcast. Again, we have Grant Hardy.
What's up, guys?
The dude, man. We wanted to talk.
We got Derek, too.
Yeah, we got me. We wanted to talk about risk management today and the different ways you can utilize it.
Yes.
Grant, do you want to start us off?
Yes, because I've been getting a lot of hate in the comment section about risking an account on one trade.
Which is just ridiculous, man.
I know. People have been letting me have it.
Explain yourself.
So I've been talking about a trade setup for over 3 months now on AUD/JPY and why it was going to reverse and why I was waiting for this trade, right? And it was for the Wyckoff. It was for the schematic one for distribution, right, for sales. And after phase D happened, right, I took an account. I had $10,000 in it that I started, and I just started placing lots. I went to about 50% in drawdown, and up. I flipped the account 6-7 times over again. Haven't closed all the trades out yet, right? So I'm still in it. I'm still going to be holding it for a minute. But people could not fathom that I risked $10,000 for one trade. And they're sitting there telling me, like, I'm preaching bad habits. I'm, I don't know risk management. I should be risking 1% to 2%, and just going on and on and on, calling me fake and a scammer. If any of y'all have seen my Instagram story, I've, like, put all of it to rest. I've done screen recordings. I've done, like, I don't know what else to do. I'll show you guys the withdrawal whenever I'm done, right? But they could not fathom that I would put $10,000 in an account and risk it on one trade. But I've been waiting for this trade setup for 3 months, and
so let's explain this,
right.
Okay? So there's different ways of trading, guys. There's people who flip accounts. Let's say that you have $100,000 and you decide to distribute that into 10 accounts. So you have 10 $10,000 accounts. And on every one of those accounts, you choose to pick one trade or a couple trades to either you're risking your account or your account's tripling, quadrupling, whatever it is. There's people that trade like that. And if you've got the money to do that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, the thing that we want to do is we want to make money.
Right.
Now, because Grant did this, he had his $10,000 account, which I promise you he can afford probably putting in a ton of $10,000 accounts, but he did this for the specific trade because it's been lining up for the last 3 months.
I've been documenting this on Trader Society, on the podcast, on the lives that I've been doing. I can show you guys DMs I have on Instagram. People are like, oh, you were right. I can't believe it. Like, this is crazy how it's playing out. But the thing is I don't always do that. Like, I trade an account and I trade with risk management. I just took the $10,000 and risked it on this one trade because I know the power of what a Wyckoff can do.
Yeah.
Right. So it was worth the risk.
Exactly.
You
know? Like, before you have people coming at us saying, hey, like, you guys are preaching bad habits, like, everything in life revolves around, like, your situation. So maybe for your situation, like, that's a bad habit for you, but we're not going out preaching, hey, blow your accounts on one trade. We're preaching that, hey, he has the money to blow that account, so he had this set up. Why not try to risk $10,000 to make over $100,000? And at the end of the day, it's like, to me, that's good risk management, because he's risking 1/10 of the money to make the money 10 times over. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good risk management to me.
And like I said, I don't always do this.
Yeah, no, you don't ever. But like on this one, like, it's a smaller account, why not?
So I just gave you an example before the podcast, right? It's like whenever want to buy real estate. Like, oh, save up, go broke buying real estate, right? So save up your 30, 40 grand, 20 grand, whatever your down payment needs to be, get in the property, and then go broke and you have no cash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's a terrible idea. In my opinion, I'm sure it could pay off in the long run.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But if you're playing the housing market for cash flow, that's one thing. But if you're playing it to try and flip and exit, well, right now you're down, right? Interest rates are rising. The market shifts. It moves different directions. But I risked $10,000. It's not like I risked $200,000 or $300,000 or, $500,000 or even 50 grand.
But hey, if you did have 20 million and you wanted to risk 50 grand to do that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You're not preaching bad habits, because we have preached that risk management is like the thing that keeps you in the game.
Right. We talk about using a fixed lot, usually, like, if I'm not, it depends on my stop loss. If I have a really big stop loss, I'll trade with a standard or two.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a tight stop loss, I'm dropping 15 standards, 20 standards on something.
Exactly.
We
We always know our risk of what we can lose when we enter trades, and that's the most important thing.
Right.
I personally think, like, as long as you're controlling your losses how you want to control your losses,
Mm-hmm.
and it works for you, you can afford to lose X amount of money, then you're doing it right. As
Right.
long as the outcome is making money.
Right. No, exactly. So there's many different systems at work, and this is the first time I've flipped an account like this too. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I do this.
And
all
you'll
the
probably
time.
do it again, because it's,
Yeah.
you did it.
Well, it's this specific setup that just works. It's been around for almost 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one really knows about it. It's really crazy. And so, I'm at the point, honestly, now, like, trading London, like, getting more onto the actual trading side, like, trading London, it's exhausting having, kids, being up here, to do everything that we do. And it's a lot, staying up till 2 a.m. at night.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've seen over an entire year that this trade setup works, I'm about to only really want to trade that. I may trade London a couple nights a week, one night a week, just because I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the favored outcome, that you want in trading works better with what I have.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
And that's exactly what I preach. So if anyone saw one of the reels we posted, I dropped my FX book and ended up winning 47 out of 50 trades, right? And I actually count that as 50 out of 50, because I only took 24 trades, and every one of those trades ended up being in profit. I might have closed some of the positions out in a loss, but overall, the trade that I took ended up in profit. Now, you can look at the percentage of drawdown. You can look at the risk per trade.
You won 47 out of 50?
Yeah.
Damn.
But I only took 24 trades in
That's
3.5
crazy.
months.
That's crazy.
I haven't lost, like, I don't lose trades. The trades I take are very deliberate, and they have a good percentage that I'm going to win my trade. And the thing with that is that, like, I see so many people in trades at all times. They got 5 different trades open with different pairs and everything.
It's too much.
It's way too much. It really is. Less is more when you're trading. That's my personal belief. And also having a system that, okay, why are you in this trade? You know why you're in this trade, and what comes with that. And my biggest belief, because psychology is such a huge thing when it comes to trading, is the fact that I am so confident that I know what I'm going to do if I end up losing the trade.
Right.
I know what I'm going to end up doing if the trade, or where to take the trade, what to do when I'm in the trade. So it gives me way more confidence that I don't even have to be scared, because I know at the end of the day, like, if I lose that trade, okay, I lost $5,000, sick, on to the next one.
Right.
I'm not scared. And that's why people have such big, like, psychology issues, is because when they are in drawdown, they're holding that drawdown, or they're risking way too much.
Just staring.
And then they're just, like, freaking out. Like, I see so many people, like, shaking. You get that shake feeling when you're, like, in a trade, and you're like, oh my goodness, like, I'm in a trade. Like, that's because you don't know what you're doing. You're checking
Right.
your pulse, like, you're risking too much, or you don't even know why you're in that trade.
Right. So that's where I wanted to go next with this, right? Is the reason I was able to do this with this account, and it's still going, if it plays out, like, the market can do with what it wants. But with the history of this setup, right, if it plays out, like, I'm going to be in this for a minute. but I've stacked at each level, and I've taken a couple losses, like trying to trade in between, but ultimately I've stacked at each level where I'm just holding, but I understand why I'm in, why I'm holding the trade, and where I'm going to take this. Because if I just try to exit at the first bounce, up, because I'm in sales right now on it, on AJ, if I try to exit at the first bounce and panic and the thing falls through, right, then that's how you can screw yourself. And I took some losses that I probably shouldn't have, but then I got re-entered better positions. But I was in it at like 65 standards at one point.
Now, is this the first time you've taken a daily time frame with Wyckoff?
Yeah, most of them have been 4 hour.
Okay, so like now you have that learning experience of like you'll probably never enter again where you entered and took the loss.
Right.
It's a learning experience, and like that's what we have to go through as traders is like every time you take a loss that you knew you shouldn't have taken, you have to notch that off the belt to say like, okay, I'm not going to do that next time because this screwed me this time. I could have had way more profit at the end of the day.
If I just would have held, right?
Yeah.
So like, I've taken some losses, but like I'm still up good in the trade. Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just understanding why you're in something and how to react to it and how to hold it. Because if you're not doing that, then you're just gonna make emotional decisions and then you're gonna screw yourself, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like especially on the daily Wyckoffs, right, versus the 4 hours, like those moves are violent.
Yeah.
They're big moves. They're big, powerful moves. You have to be careful, what level you're putting your entries in, where you're stacking. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, guys, like, I almost screwed myself placing too many lots at the bottom and then taking, a loss that cut in profit that I had been taking on the way down as well, right? To closing out partials and everything else. So, because you have to, like, I'm still managing this trade, even though I'm holding it for a long period of time.
And at the same time, you got a little overconfident because you were up so big.
Right.
And that's another, like, just learning experience as you go. Next time, I guarantee you don't do what you did this time.
No. And one of the first Wyckoffs I ever took was on gold. Like, you have to be patient for these things. Even a 4 hour Wyckoff could take 3 weeks to play out.
Yeah.
And I got in gold. I'd have to show you on the chart. I forget what the price was, but it was like 1,800 or so, a little over 1,800. And I had I think 3 standards, like 250 or something, right at the top of this wick. I went to $300 in drawdown. My take profit was 1,670.
Dang, there you go.
On the Wyckoff, but it dropped low, it pushed up, and I could show you guys on a chart. Maybe we can edit it in. But it dropped down, pushed up, and I thought that I didn't quite understand what was happening, and I got out. If I just would have held, gold's still been dropping. I'd be up huge. But I've learned now on AJ, like, all right, this is what happened. I'm holding this. I understand the bounces, the moves, the violence that can come. And at the end of the day, like, that's why I put this trade on one account with $10,000, because I didn't want to put it on my main account and be too emotionally attached to it, right? So I put it on one account. It's like, okay, if I can get this account built through these levels, right, of AJ dropping to finish off this Wyckoff, then I'm less emotionally attached to lose $10,000 versus, a bigger account.
Yeah, and it's kind of like fun money for you. It's like, okay, like let's transfer over $10,000, see what we can do with this, and then it turns into another, either whatever you want to do with the money. You may want to trade
black.
it. Yeah, there you go. Put it on black. I love it. Hey,
that's
that worked.
Good. There you go, risk management. Double zero green.
But that's the importance, like, to me, is trading comes in cycles. Just like when you're in one trade, it comes in cycles. And the more you learn about your own system, the better you're going to be off in the long run.
Right.
I've been doing my system for 7-8 years now. I'm so confident in my system that I don't have any psych issues at all when I'm in a trade, because I've seen it happen. I know what's going to happen if it does not go my way, and I just move on to the next one. And that's where I think every trader should try to pursue to get to, that point of psychology not being an issue because you know your system so well.
I think there's too much copy and paste
There is.
Like,
man.
oh, you have to do that. You have to risk the 1%. You have, like, there's more than one way of doing anything, you know? And it comes down to learning why you're doing it. Like, what is your, this was one of my, I've taught a lot on the lives that I've done, right? Is like, if you can't get in and look at a chart and over-explain, you need to over-explain it. Why are you doing it? Where's a trend line? Can you make a trend line here? Does it make sense? Why doesn't it make sense? Why is this divergent? Is it hidden divergence? Is it regular divergence? Explain every little bit of it. And then you have to take that and separate it and understand yourself completely in what you're doing. Like, there's a lot that you have to find out and understand and see.
Yes. 100%.
It's crazy.
And that's one of the craziest things. Like, I have no idea, guys, how I even developed my strategy. I literally don't. It was from me just like watching the chart over and over again and being like, okay, this works. Kind of back testing it for a long period of time and just starting to take the trades, taking the more trades. And next thing you know, like, I have this system that I've built that's like, damn, it's good. It's really good. It's good for me, at least. And I'm so, and he was talking about, like, you have to kind of make it your own and like stop copying and pasting. Like, if I was like every other trader out there trading how everyone else trades, which I feel is like a big thing in our industry, I probably wouldn't be where I am. I took it upon myself to figure out what works for me, and it works. It works great. And I don't trade like anyone else that I know. And that's one of the best things that I think I did for myself.
Yep. I love that. You have to hold true, and
yeah,
you have to be real with yourself.
There's so many just different ways that works in this industry. Just like you figured out, okay, Wyckoff works for you. You know how to manage it now. And that makes you more confident. That's why you want to stick to it now.
Yeah. Like, plus, like, I don't want to be in trades all the time.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Like,
want to be in trades all the time.
Like, the less the better. Like, I'd rather one trade, like with these Wyckoffs on the high time frames, I want to make a trade copier. I want to trade this, you know, on the trade copier, right, with people. And, you know, my approach would definitely be different with, you know, like, I would not risk the whole account and, you know, do that to people. It would be completely different. But, right, like, no.
Hey, I know we have some ballsy people out there. I'm sure there would be people that were willing to do it. So if you're one of those people, contact Grant.
Yeah, that's right. I might be doing this.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah. And so, where was I going?
You want to trade the trade copier.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, but
you would go about it a different way.
Yeah, I would totally go about it a different way and use, you know, proper risk. I'd probably have my own account where I would risk 10 grand again, just because, like, the R to R is so big. But the thing is if I did that, you'd have to understand I would maybe take 10 trades a year on it. Like, this would not be, you know, my account grew 6%, 10, 15% last month. It would be, there hasn't been a single trade taken for 2 months, and all of a sudden the reward is so big. You know, I've talked about this in past podcasts where one of Richard Wyckoff's students took 19 trades in a year, or 20 in a year, and he won 19 of them.
Yeah, see, man, that's like insane.
Yeah.
But that's all you need, dude. That's all you need. You need a system that you know that works, and just stick with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick. You don't need to be in, like, trades all the time. Like, there's this person that I'm talking to that's, like, on the charts every day and feels like that she needs to be in a trade at all times. And I'm just, like, sitting there, like, you realize you don't have to take a trade every day, right? Like, yeah, I know, but that's, like, the biggest problem with every trader, and it frustrates me, or wannabe trader, is the fact that, like, they always want to be in trades. They don't even know why the heck they're in trades. And they're just, like, kind of following somebody else's lead. And, like, in order to be, like, a real trader, I feel like you have to do your own thing.
Like, I'm in no more than, like, 2 pairs at a time. Like, no more.
And they usually probably correlate.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, right now I'm in CJ and AJ.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm done doing that because I like my sleep and peace of mind. Yeah. And doing that, there's chaos up here. I don't like that.
There is. It's like managing anything. The more you have to manage, it's like messes with your brain. That's why I only like being in, like, one setup at a time. And I find the best setup that I can possibly find. I'm in that trade. I know how to manage it, and it's over with. Like, I don't have any stress when I trade.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Dang, I want that.
Dude, it's like, that's why I think I started one of the first podcasts off, like, saying, like, you'll eventually get to the point where you take a trade and like you don't feel nothing because you know yourself and your system so well that like there's nothing to feel as long as you're doing the things right and like not risking your life, account, money, and
Right.
you just got to do it smart that works for you. Everyone can do it differently and still succeed.
Exactly.
I love that.
I think we should end it on that.
Let's end it on that, man.
That was great.
Anyways, we're going to end it on that, but make sure you buy your hats. And if you want, I'll custom design one for you.
I love that.
It's called the Paint Guy.
We're going to zoom in on that.
Zoom in on it, baby.
That one's cool. Who painted that?
I did it.
You did it?
I did it. All right. We'll see you guys next Friday.
That's right.
Peace.